for your electrical outlets, electrical boxes. And it's going to be simple. Part 2, I will show you what this is from part 1. I'll show you now. All right, I've laid this out down here. That's from part 1. RG, good to see you. How you doing? I just visited your channel the other day, last night. All right, so we're going to lay this one out. I'm going to show you from start to finish the process to simply lay it out. Now I have my drywall screwed in place. In the beginning, I had it setting to the side, just like it was going to go in there. All right, and then I did the measurements and I laid this one out, and that's in part 2. You'll see that I'll upload next. But in the meantime, this is what I'm going to do. This is the process. All right. Now, I have taken my tape and I've measured it out on the tape. All right. So I came down to the electrical box and I took my measurement. Okay. This is a story stick. It's the length of the box and the width of the box. All right, so I put this right above it or up against something flush. All right, then you mark the bottom, you come across outside to outside, and you mark the side. Okay, then I mark the outer edges as well. Okay, now, so I've already taken my measurements, and so I'm going to transfer it here to this outer edge. All right, and I'm going to do this on both sides. So I have 14 3/4 to the top of the box here. And then I have 18 then I have 18 1/8. All right, right here. 18 1/8. Now I come across and I do the same thing. All right, and I have this marked on my tape. My tape is marked. All right, so I have 14 3/4. Okay. And then I will take my measurements. Okay. All right. So there we go. Now I'm going to take my straight edge. You can put this to the wall. All right. I'm going to line it up with this outside edge. All right, and the inside edge. Well, on this particular application, I'm going to have to turn this around. All right. So we get this leveled out. Okay. And here we go. So I'm just going to mark a line across. That's the top of my box. Okay. Measure these lines here. Get them in. And we're going to bring a line across. Now that becomes your top and bottom. All right. Now, let's see how accurate my lines are. All right. I have about 1/8 of an inch space at the bottom to the line and 1/8 inch at the top. All right, so I got an 1/8 inch gap, top and bottom. That's above your outlet box, okay? Now, we have to the outside edge, okay? We have all right, so now we have over here, we have 12 7/8. All right, so we have 12 and 7/8 right to this mark here. And I already have that line on there. And then my next measurement is 15 and a quarter. All right, but I'm going to do this up here at the top of the line. Okay, so we have 12 and 7/8, which is right here. And we go 15 and a quarter, which is here. You can do the same. All right, so we go 12 and 7/8, 15 and a quarter. All right, and we go 15 and a quarter. Now, you can go about this two ways. You can just come down and you can mark this straight down. You could take a speed square or straight edge, put your straight edge up. I could take this, all right, and I could stick it up here, line it up, and here we go. All right, line up these lines over here. Here's my straight edge, and you just get it in there. All right, but it's not that critical. So now we're going to zoom in so you can see, and then we will cut this open. All right, you can't really see anything. So let's zoom in. All right. And we will show you what's coming next. All right. There we have it. Let's zoom out a bit. Okay. All right, it's not the boxes you're seeing. All right. This is not the box. All right. We're going to put, here's the box right here. All right. And now you can see the right location. And that's really light, but you can definitely see. Okay, now I'm going to show you two ways of cutting this. All right, the traditional way is with the drywall knife. All right, and then I will show you a much quicker, easier way, and you really got to take your time. And I will show you that in just a moment. I'm coming right in here at the corner, and I'm going to work this all the way through. I'm going to completely sink my drywall blade all the way in here. All right, I'm all the way through. This is the traditional way. I'm going to reverse the blade, put the point in here at the corner. All right. And we're going to, that's in all the way, okay. Normally you cut it from the front and the back, but this is how you work through in this situation. Okay. Now, this is why I'm going to show you another way. It's much quicker. Now you just kind of slide this across and work it. And when I get it completely worked like it is now, it'll slide. Okay, it's sliding, it's catching just a little bit. And now we're slid through. All right, there we are. Now I'm going to show you a much quicker and easier way. You got to take your time. You got to go slow because you can make a mess out of your hole that you're cutting, that you're creating. All right. This is a rotozip. This is a drywall blade, not a blade, but a bit. Okay, and it'll punch right through. And we're going to find out the moment of truth. Will it stay or will it go now? Will it stay or will it go? Looks like I got to cut this through just a tad more. There we go, folks. That's how that works. And it can be that quick and that easy. All right, remember, practice makes perfect. But that's how we do that. All right, so I measured from the top down to the outer edge, to the top of the box. I'll go back through the process here, all right, of how I did this. All right, for the viewing audience. Okay, now, how I accomplished that was this is the process that I accomplished this in. I came from the top, okay, I went straight to my ceiling. And I measured to the top of the electrical outlet box, and then I marked that with my pencil, okay? And we have 14 3/4. That gives me about an 1/8 inch gap above my box. And it's marked here on my tape. I come to the bottom. It stops at 18.5, but I brought it down to 18 5/8. Okay, and like I said, you got to be careful with the roto zip because it made it just a little bit bigger than what I desired. But it's acceptable and it'll work. I can fill this in with caulking, with some mud. All right, so I've got my tape measure. Then I come to the side. All right, on the side I am 12 7/8, and that gives me a nice tight 1/8 inch gap here on the side of the box. Okay, I'll show you this up close and personal in a minute. All right, then I come here, and remember, I have the mark right on my tape to the top of the box. So I measure over and I make a line. I come down to the next mark here, all right, and we've got 18 5/8. All right, so I make my mark here. I do the same, I bring it over to this edge. All right, 14 3/4, 18 5/8. I'm sorry, 18 3/4, 7/8 right there. All right, and then I bring up my straight edge. You could use a level, you could use a piece of trim, you could use a piece of drywall that's straight, anything for a straight edge. And I come over here and I bring my line. I line it up to the outside edges. All right. Then I scribe across to the top. I come here to the bottom. And I scribe across. You could just do just this section. All right. But I'm just keeping it quick and easy, simple. All right. Now I've got the top mark, the bottom mark. Now all I got to do is mark the sides. Okay, so the next thing I did was I took my tape and I measured over to 12. This is 12 7/8. So I made it I made it 15/16, 12 and 15/16. All right, so I've got an 1/8 inch there, and you mark it, and you mark your line here, 12 and 15/16. I'm sorry, I did that backwards. 12 and 7/8. All right, because the box outer edge is right at 13, a little over, so 7/8 works to this edge. Come to the back edge. All right, that is 15 1/4. So then I make my line here, 15 1/4, 15 1/4, 12 and 7/8, 12 and 7/8. Then you just connect the lines, bam, bam, route it out. Okay, now you can do this with it just sitting over here to the side. All right, right in line, where it's exactly like it's going to go in place. Now that I show you that in part 1. This is part 2. We went live. All right. So now I may have to use some furring strips. Okay, I just have this just held in place for the moment for this purpose. Okay. Now, let me show you this up close and personal. All right, that's the top. That's the bottom. Okay, now we'll show you this up close and personal. Appreciate you, RG, for being here. RG Homestead. Okay, there's this box. In part 1, it looked like the bottom was cut too big. That's because it was at an angle and it wasn't up in there completely. And so it looked like there was a bigger gap here at the bottom. But as you see, that's fully acceptable. All right. Now I'll show you the top one here, up close and personal. All right. See this here. Now I'm using the red crayon marker pencil so you can see it really clear. All right. But this is what I mean about being careful with that roto zip. You can really cut out more than you want really quick. This is nice and tight. That's really how you want it right here. Although this isn't bad. I can put caulking in here and it'll be just fine when I'm done. Mud, and you could even use drywall mud. But I like caulking because it's going to hold up. It's not going to crack. All right. So now I'm going to take this down. Okay. And show you what's next. I may have to put up some furring strips on this, but I'm hoping that I don't have to use furring strips. All right. Now, so we're going to take this drywall down. Okay. So bear with me. This is a clutch-driven dimpler, which makes it nice. It doesn't cut through the drywall like the stationary dimplers do. Okay, so we're going to move this to the side. I'm going to see if I can't, maybe. If I may not be able to. That's why I'm assessing it now. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. All right, just have to be careful. Bring this over here. All right. Bring that over there. Looks like that just might do the trick here. All right, bring this down. And that should, because this is sticking out too far, all right? And I'd have to put some furring strips here to build it out and run them over here. taper them off, fill it in so that the drywall doesn't have a space behind it. But I don't like doing that, so we're not going to do that. We will be doing the pulling that off and redoing it. Okay. And so just bear with me as I'm getting a hold of what I'm needing here. All right. So first things first. All right, we're gonna all right, so now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna pull this loose. This is held in with by nails, and so we're going to first remove, pull these nails out. Okay. And this is a better made box than most of them. The plastic is a much better quality plastic. Okay. All right, now we're going to drive this out of there. We can't pry it, so we're going to drive it. There we go. No way like the old way. There we go. Now, we are going to put some screws in the side and anchor that. All right. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay. Now I'm going to have to okay, we're going to get this back where it goes. We're going to knock these nails back, tap them, those are out of the way. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, all right, I'm just going to take a piece of drywall for my gauge. I'm going to run alongside here. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to drive this drywall right alongside where that box is going to go so I can adjust it. All right, so we're going to put this drywall right here at the edge where this is going to mount. And then that will be my gauge for how much I need the side of this electrical box out. All right, now, okay. I can then take this box and get it flush to the outside of that drywall. Okay. And then I'm going to just tack it in place with the nail. All right. I'm just going to get it attached, get it right there where it needs to be. And I gotta adjust that just a little more. I don't like how that's sitting. It needs to come out just a hair. All right. So that's gonna do it right there. Nice, perfect. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this screw. I'm gonna put a screw at the side of this box right into the stud. All right, I've got my wires moved out of my way. All right. Now you can use a drill bit. But as you see, it worked. And that anchored it. Bam. All right. Now, I'm going to pull the top one out and get it square. Get this straightened out at the top. All right. Because it'll turn now. It will turn. Okay, now I can pull this, get this, turn this, pull this outward. It's going to be much nicer, much nicer. All right, we can anchor this one. Bam, there we go. And we're in like Flynn. And that saved me bunches of time. Because otherwise, I'll show you the furring strips. Okay? I was going to have to use okay. You weren't seeing nothing I was doing. Holy smokes. Bad form. All right, but you see the drywall. Let's get up here now. Up close and personal. All right, that's how that worked. I put a screw in the side, inside the box, right in here. All right, and I anchored it to the stud. Okay, I brought the box out flush to the drywall that I put screwed. Temporarily put that gauge in with that drywall, all right? And I was going to have to use these drywall furring strips. Okay. I'm really frustrated about not getting all of that. Because I was going to have to bring these out here like this, or along the side, and then fur them out along coming out here, and that would have been a bunch of time. So I was able to do it without the drywall strips. So that was good. And the drywall furring strips will generally take up gaps if your walls are out real bad. And you take the drywall strips, put them on the studs, okay? And it takes one or two, depending. You'd run a level across, all right, a straight edge, if your wall was out, okay? So that's how these drywall furring strips, it goes to the studs, box stores. All right, now let's make sure you can see what I see what I'm doing. All right, now let's see how well this is going to go. This should be like perfect now, and that's what we want. Now, when you're doing this, you also want the outer edge of your drywall flush to your, when you have sliding glass doors, flush in line with your drywall, with your sliding glass door trim edges, okay? So, I'm having to get resituated. Okay. So I'm coming down here so I can get this raised up to where it belongs. And get it fit in place. There we go. All right, what did I forget? I have forgotten something very important. I forgot to mark the ceiling for my studs over here. All right. So I'll show you what that is. All right, now in this wall, I know where my studs are. All right. So my stud, I have one stud in line. Okay. All right. Now I know that I have a stud on this side of my electrical box all the way up. And I have one over here. All right. Then I have one here. Actually over here. So let's get that marked. I'm using this red for your viewing pleasure. Now we're going to put it in the center of that stud. I'm going to get this level right here. And then I'm just going to mark. Okay. Then I'm going to go up. Okay. And we're going to mark this here. All right, so now I have it marked. And now I know exactly where to put my screws. Now you can run your screws according to code. Roughly 16 inches to 12 inches apart. But I like running them about, see there's my line, my center line. Okay. I like running about 8 inches apart, 8 on the sides. Okay, 12 in the middle you could do. All right. But code reads 16 inches apart to 12 inches apart in the field. The middle part of your drywall or plywood is called the field. That's the middle part. Okay. On the edges, on the ceiling, you want it about 6 inches apart on the edge, then about 8 inches apart in the field, all right, in the middle of it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, I'm going to grab my other okay, I don't want to drive this through. Now you can use these. You adjust down your intensity, the resistance on the screw. I've got this down to a 3. All right, you hear that? And let's see. All right, I'm going to bring it up to a 4. Level 4. Level 5. Level 5. Probably is good. All right, I'm going to bring it up to a level 6, and we're going to come up and we're going to see. We're just going to test this out here. All right, on level 6. I just hit a screw. Let me come above. All right, come above that a bit. I'd say level 6 is safe. I'll show you what it's looking like here in 1 second. Let's do another one at a level 6. Let's come up here. All right. Yeah, level 6. And I'll show you. So if you don't use a dimpler, drywall dimpler, you want to stop before you cut the paper. All right. You want to stop before you cut paper. This is a terrible live stream. I am so frustrated. You're not even seeing what I'm doing. All right, you see where you got the impression here. The paper's not cut. All right, so you still have the strength holding it. Again, and also you see where it's pressed in, you got this little, it's been countersunk. That way your mud goes right in there and it covers. Same thing with here, it's been countersunk, all right? And that's what you want. Now I'll show you with the dimpler, this clutch, dimpler with the clutch. All right, what's going on with that and how that works. I'm totally frustrated with the fact that this is moving on me and you can't see, and I'm talking and I have no idea till I go back and look at it. All right. All right, so now let's now I'm going to use the dimpler. Sorry, but I have to go. We are getting, and oh, great. Glad to hear new kitchen. Yahoo! Tomorrow. So keep great work. All right, do that, RG. All right, I got 15% power. And so this live stream isn't going to last much longer. So we're going to do this dimpler. All right. And let's use the dimpler, and I'll show you how this works. This has a clutch, a dimpler with a clutch. All right. Now I wouldn't be putting it this close, but this is for your viewing pleasure here. Here we go. All right, this clutch is getting somewhat wore out. But I'll show you some others. All right, we'll do another one. Okay, we'll put in another one. Okay, we're going to come up about right here. All right, and we'll set that with the clutch, with this dimpler. Okay, we'll get a better angle on it. All right, there you go. Let's see if we can get it zoomed in even better. There you go. Get it set. All right. Here we go. You can see the dimpler in action. All right. Nice. That's how it's supposed to work, just like that. Okay. So, there we go. That's how it's supposed to work. You see how it's been countered, all right? The paper's not cut, and that's what you're looking for, all right? Come down, all right? There you go. That'll work, all right? And the next one down, that was done with the regular drill gun, all right? Well, thank you for being here. I'm going to thank you for being here. And we will catch you on the rebound. Now, remember, if you have any questions, as always, I'm really frustrated with the way this live stream has gone. You know, I have it pointed and you're not seeing what I'm doing, and that's a mess. So anyways, part 1 is worth your time. This is, I guess, a fill-in video I'm a little frustrated with. But thank you all for being here. Thank you, RG Homestead, for your time, your support. Congratulations on your new kitchen. You have to do some videotape, get some footage of that. And remember, as always, never give up, because there's always a way, always. And remember, easy 2 tips and tricks where you see everything up close and personal. Bye for now. And don't forget, tell a friend it's a win-win-win. God bless. Have a great day. Bye for now. Thanks for being here. 3 in the chat. Thank you for being here. I got like 3-4% on my battery, so I've got to end it, or I would still go live. All right, do a replay. The beginning isn't bad. Check out the beginning. And be looking for part 2. Part 2 is even better.